Hello everyone and welcome back to Kayla's Kitchen. Today we are going to be doing another Battle of the Teas. So today I'm going to be taking a look at two very similar teas, one from David's Tea and one from Adagio. So today Sweet Tart and Cupid's Cup are going head to head. Let's start with taking a look at Sweet Tart. So Sweet Tart is a tea from David's Tea that typically comes around year round at Valentine's Day. So this is, I just have a small tin of this. I do enjoy this tea, but I have never actually bought like a large amount of it. I've gotten 2-ounce bags and I've gotten like some of their small little tins, but I don't normally buy like a huge amount. And I don't normally keep it on hand year round. But I have had it before. I've had both of these teas before. I like both of these teas. But today, let's look at this with some fresh eyes, which is difficult because they decided to put cyan text on top of magenta on this tin, and it is difficult to see. So the ingredients in this tea are apple, raisins, carrots, hibiscus blossoms, beetroot, sugar hearts, white hibiscus buds, rose blossoms, sour cherries, and artificial flavoring. The other thing about these tins, as cute as these tins are, they spill tea like every time you open them. But this loose tea smells very tart. I'm getting a little bit of floralness in there, but mostly I'm getting like the sour cherries and things like that. But I'm also kind of smelling the carrots fairly prevalently. And the carrots, there's a lot of carrot in here. I also have a tin of Cupid's Cup, which ironically it's in a David's Tea tin, but I didn't manage to save the ingredients off of the bag, so we're gonna take a look at the Adagio website for the ingredients. So the ingredients in Cupid's Cup are hibiscus, rose hips, apple pieces, candy sprinkles, vanilla cream flavor, strawberries, natural strawberry flavor, and rose petals. So right off the bat, the ingredients to these teas are similar, but they are relatively different, right? It's not like the Battle of the Teas where I did all the teas that were like Forever Nuts, and the ingredients were virtually the same on all of those teas. With this one, even though the ingredients are different, they're kind of advertised in that same kind of, they're like sweet but tart, like fruity Valentine's Day blends. I don't know, that's the thought process, but anyway. So David's Tea seems to have, from the ingredients, from what I'm drawing from the ingredients, it seems to be more of a focus on kind of sour things. So there's sour cherries, there's hibiscus, there's raisins, and then they also have the interesting ingredient of the carrots. Cupid's Cup, on the other hand, is mostly like a strawberries and cream flavored tea. It's mostly like strawberry flavors, and then it has some cream flavor in there as well. I just realized I never smelled Cupid's Cup. Let's smell Cupid's Cup. So this tea, it smells very sweet. You're getting a nice, like, it does kind of smell like strawberries, but you're also getting that sweet creaminess as well. So I have Sweet Tart steeped up right here. I steeped both of these. I did 1 perfect spoon of tea to just 8 ounces, 1 cup of water, and I steeped them both for like 7 minutes-ish. I wasn't like super focused on timing them incredibly well, but they steeped for the same amount of time. So let's take a sip of Sweet Tart. It is definitely very tart off the bat, but it's also very sweet. You're getting the tart hibiscus in there. You're getting that like sour cherry kind of raisin flavor, but you're definitely getting the sweetness from the apple. I don't think that any one of these flavors really stands out above the other. Maybe the cherry, which is a little bit surprising because the cherries were listed so far down on the list, but I think that that's probably the hibiscus just kind of being like translating as cherry instead of hibiscus, which is what it is. Welcome to Kayla's Kitchen. I like to state the obvious things. That's the only way to make up for the fact that I'm not an expert. I do prefer this one iced. Tart teas, I tend to prefer iced. So even though, here's what I will say. The sweetness and the tartness are very well balanced. So although that it does have a punch of tartness, like the sweetness is kind of there to rescue it. Like when I make this iced, you don't have to add sugar into this one at all. It's definitely balanced. And here we have Cupid's cup, again steeped for 7-ish minutes. This one is much more tart. Well, so it's much more tart and it's much less sweet. This one, when I've made it iced, I actually have sweetened. The first thing that you get is like a big punch of tart hibiscus. And recognizably hibiscus as well. You know, I think that Cupid's cup comes across more as like a sour cherry, but this one, like if you don't like hibiscus, you won't like this tea. And I mean, that is coming out of the first ingredient on Cupid's cup is hibiscus, but the first ingredient of sweet tart is apples, right? So sweet tart it's going to be a sweeter blend. I think that, for me personally, I don't think that this tea translates as strawberry, but I don't want it to be strawberry. Like I want it to be this tart tea. I don't want it to be strawberries and cream, even though that's what they're going for, but I like this tea thinking of it as just a like tart berry tea. I am getting some creamy kind of vanilla sort of flavor in here, but you sort of have to look for it. It's not super prevalent. If you're not searching for it, it will just kind of get lost and you'll just have the flavor. There I go stating the obvious again. But this one is the most noticeable difference is that one, it mostly tastes of hibiscus and berries. And then the sweetness is much lower. It's not sweet, right? It's not completely tart. It's just the sweetness is not as prevalent. So in conclusion, both of these teas are different. They are similar, but they are different. So the sweet tart is definitely much more on that sweeter end of things. You are getting more of a cherry kind of flavor, and it is definitely like much more balanced in terms of the sweetness and the tartness levels. Cupid's cup, on the other hand, is much more of a flavor of hibiscus with a little bit of that berry kind of flavor in there. You are getting a bit of a creamy vanilla note in there, but it is not super strong in my opinion. And the levels of like tartness is way up here and sweetness is kind of down here. It is sweet, it is definitely tart, but the levels are much more unbalanced. So which tea is better? It depends on what you want. I think that, like, I definitely reached to both of these. I like both of them, and I like both of them in their differences. I think that sweet tart is really nice as a sweeter version of a tart tea, and Cupid's cup is nice as a more tart version of a tart tea. Yeah. But if you were looking for one of these to buy, it really just depends on your personal preference. If you like more sweeter teas, you probably want to go with sweet tart. But if you want something that is definitely very tart, go with Cupid's cup. So that is my look into both of these teas by David's Tea and Adagio. Have you tried either of these teas before? Let me know what your thoughts of them are in the comments down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and subscribe down below. But that is all for now. So as always, happy sipping.